Hi, this is Greg with a short and impromptu video. I recently ordered a set of two 8-inch CBN wheels in 80 and 180 grit. I'll link to them in the description below. They arrived just a few hours ago and I was anxious to give them a whirl. Up to now I've been using the standard 36 and 80 grit wheels that came with my DeWalt grinder. And they're okay, but I find that sharpening hard tungsten eats away at the relatively soft wheel surface, leaving grooves, so the wheels have to be dressed frequently, and it also sprays a lot of grinder dust everywhere and causes rapid wheel wear. Now that I mounted and tested these new CBN wheels on my grinder, I wanted to share my experience as I resharpen a bunch of TIG tungstens. So CBN stands for cubic boron nitride, which has a hardness second only to diamond. They're machined perfectly round, flat, and balanced, so the grinder has zero vibration, which is a big improvement from the DeWalt wheels. CBN wears very little, if any, so they can last for many years. And you can adjust the work table close to the wheel for safety and expect that it'll stay that way because the wheel's not going to wear away from it. Here's my double-decker polisher and grinder setup, which saves me precious space in my garage machine shop. The grinder's a yellow DeWalt on the bottom, of course, and has the CBN wheels already mounted. I hadn't reinstalled the dust shields at this point. Here's a close-up of the left wheel, which is a medium 80 grit. Note how close the work table is adjusted to the wheel. And another close-up of the right wheel, which is a fine 180 grit. So let's get on with the demo, sharpening a bunch of tungsten for my TIG welding. I wear a mask and gloves and mount each tungsten into my Milwaukee drill. The drill lets me easily turn the tungsten slowly as it's being ground, first in the 80 grit wheel to remove the bulk of the material, and then polished by the 180 grit wheel. Note that I move the tungsten slowly back and forth across the wheel surface to avoid creating hot spots in the CBN, which I understand can damage it if done to excess. I'll show a second example just so we can time it. About 8 seconds total. And I'm sure I could do it faster if pushed. I repeated this for my entire box of old used tungstens to restore them to a nice sharp condition for TIG welding. There are about 40 of them in all, and it took a little under 10 minutes for the whole box. Here's a close-up of one of the sharpened tungstens that I pulled at random from the box and put under a microscope. Shows a nice sharp point, and that the slate grinder marks are running longitudinally with the shaft, which is just what you want for good TIG arc control. Here's a picture of the left 80 grit CBN wheel after sharpening all those tungstens, and it looks good as new, absolutely no detectable wear. So I'm absolutely sold on the benefit of CBN grinding wheels. Yeah, they're pricey, but they should last my remaining lifetime of machining. Oh, I should mention my grinder runs at 3600 RPM, which is typical for North America. It's okay, but slower would be better for CBN. The recommended speed for an 8-inch wheel is between 1400 and 2100 RPM, and especially with the higher speeds, you should use light grinding pressure to avoid overheating the CBN, which could damage it. I hope this is useful. Thanks for watching.